Good evening. It is Tuesday, March the 12th, 2024, and it is time for Team Tuesday. I'm your hostess, Lanicia Mayberry. The mission statement is to bring strength, independence, and empowerment to individuals and their families by building confidence and financial freedom through affordable fashion. While $5 jewelry may not change the world, we believe those who wear it will. Our team scripture is Proverbs 10 and 4. The hands of the diligent shall prosper. Our team mantra is saving souls from poverty and building generational wealth $5 at a time. And our team motto is habits reflect the mission. Good evening, Team Hustling Honeys and Homies. Good evening, Papa Siblings. Good evening, Team YouTube. Please let me know if I sound like I was sounding last week when we had to change everything. Am I coming through clearly for everyone? Please let me know in the comments if you're able to hear me clearly. This is an audio, well, my part of it is audio today only. I'm not having the best day, but we still have to show up even when we're not feeling our best, right? So I am here. I'm just not showing my face. Okay. All right. Sounds good. Great. Awesome. Okay. So, few things. Thank you. Thank you guys for letting me know I sound clear. Few things I want to go over before we get into the meat and potatoes, the nitty gritty of today's Team Tuesday. First of all, if you are watching live, please comment hustle hard. If you're watching a replay, please comment replay. If this is your very first time to Team Tuesday on any platform, please comment first timer. Welcome, everyone. So glad to have you here. Brand new consultants. First of all, welcome to Paparazzi. We're so glad to have you. So happy that you decided to join us on this journey. I want to give you a couple of tips if you have not done so already. If you have not had your initial meeting with your sponsor since you joined, okay? If you have not had that meeting, there's 3 things I want you to ask your sponsor when you do have that conversation with them. First of all, I need you to reach out to them and ask them, when can we have our initial conversation? Okay. During that conversation, 3 questions that you can add to your many questions that you may possibly already have. Number 1, what is a launch party? Number 2, what is Fashion Fix? Number 3, what is life of the party? I'll repeat those. Number 1, what is a launch party? Number 2, what is Fashion Fix? And number 3, what is life of the party? Please discuss those 3 things with your sponsor and make sure you have a good understanding and grip on those before you let them off the phone. If you need additional information about those and you're on Team HHH, you can search any of those 3 items on the team page and information will come up about those for you. Okay. Those are business building tools right there. All right. So today's sorry, more announcements. Tomorrow is National Jewelry Day. Woohoo! I hope that you have some things in play and in place to market your business tomorrow and to just totally blow up. Tomorrow, March the 13th, every year is National Jewelry Day. This Sunday is St. Patrick's Day. So you can actually, if you wanted to, join those 2 together and show green jewelry for National Jewelry Day, to help prepare the people for St. Patrick's Day Sunday. If you ship it by, never mind. I'm not going to say that because I don't know what the post office is doing these days. Sometimes they're quick, sometimes not so quick. Easter is March the 31st. The very last day of this month is Easter Sunday. The first day of spring is next Tuesday, March the 19th. All of these things are good focus points for National Jewelry Day tomorrow. If you wanted to bust out your spring jewelry, your pastels for Easter, your greens for St. Patrick's Day, all the things. So consider those things and be ready for tomorrow. All right. So tonight's Team Tuesday is about the recruiting notebook. And I rewatched the video that I did way back in 2019. And I was going to redo it, but then I was like, nah, we don't have to reinvent the wheel when we can just review it. So we're going to review a video that I did, like I said, back in 2019 on the recruiting notebook. This is an exceptional time to be recruiting, you all. We have the new releases dropping on Saturdays. We have the bomb spring collection dropping on a daily basis. Business is booming. Numbers wise, as a whole, our company is turning around. So, this is a great time to be sharing the opportunity and bringing new team members, new business partners into the fold. We have the best starter kits available that we've had since I've been with the company. The $99 kit, where all 35 pieces are chosen by the brand new consultant, or the $20 kit, where they get access to a consultant number, the back office, and take off running, right? Either one of those are great deals, okay, and great affordable deals that are available to our new business partners. I think sometimes we get so caught up in the hustle and bustle that we forget to share the opportunity. We get out of the routine of how to do so. So without further ado, I'm going to play this video. I want you to take copious notes, and also if you have any questions, go ahead and put them. Uh-oh. What happened here? Hold on, you guys. Dang it. Okay. This is the one I don't need. Go ahead and take copious notes, and you can go ahead and put your questions in the comments. I'll be answering them as the video is going, but take a look here and listen about the recruiting notebook. Here it is. So today's training is on recruiting notebook, and you can get any type of notebook that you want. I like this notebook a lot because I got it for 25 cents. It says "Make Today Amazing." It's a pink notebook. I got it at Walmart during back to school, so I bought a whole bunch of them at the same time. But basically, how this is going to work, I modeled this after Andrea Hutchison did a training that is on this team page. So if you type in on the search box recruiting notebook, you'll get basically the same training, okay? Because this is what the training is modeled after. But with the recruiting notebook, it helps you keep better track of who you've spoken to, what was discussed, what the outcome of the conversation was. Too many times we rely on our messenger conversations with people, or text messaging people back and forth. But you guys, it's really important to get on the phone with people so that they can hear your passion and enthusiasm and really hear your heart. It's hard to decipher tone at times when you're messaging someone back and forth. So the recruit notebook, the way I advise you to set this up, and you can do it any way you want to, on the very last sheet in the back is where you want to put your follow-up list and make a list of 25 people. Now, what I always advise is that you put the person's name and then right next to it what you think they're going to say for why they're not going to join. Just automatically assume the no. Now, don't let the assumed no keep you from asking. You want to assume the no so that you can be prepared with a rebuttal, right? So you want to write their name, then right after it, whatever you think their excuse is going to be, and then right after that, how you're going to combat that, what you're going to come back to them with, because you need to be ready for that. When people say things like, oh, I don't have the money right now, what would you say to that? Most people would say, Cherie gave me this answer a long time ago. Oh, girl, we can have a party for you. We can have a kit earning party for you. And kit earning parties have evolved in a way that is not so much work on your part as they used to be when I first joined. A kit earning party used to be a lot of work for the consultant and really easy for the person coming in. But now all it is basically you're setting up that link in the back office. You give them the link. You tell them, hey, you send this to your friend. This is like a sidebar training, just real quick. But you tell them, send this to all your friends and family via text, via Facebook, however. And if you sell 200 pieces, that's going to earn your starter kit. Okay. Then the burden is on them instead of you pushing the link on their behalf and all of that. Okay. So that was extra. You're welcome. But anyway, you need to be prepared for whatever response they might give you, just so you don't fluster yourself. Now, in the front of the notebook, this is where you need to keep it uniform all the way across, and this is going to help you keep all of your follow-up conversations together. So you're going to put the person's name. I know this is backwards. Their name, their address, that's optional. You don't have to put that in, but you definitely want to put their phone number, okay? Number 1 is the date that you called them. So you want to put that date right here. What does that say? Outcome. So the outcome of the conversation. So that means if they joined, you can write joined. If they said something like, my mom's having surgery, you need to write that down. Why? Because the next time you talk to them, you'll be able to ask, hey, how's your mom doing? Now, that's not to be fake or phony. That's to build rapport and start building a relationship with that person, because you never want to come across as just only being like, I want you on my team, I want you on my team. These are people that our teammates are our family, right? They're people that we actually genuinely care about. And so I don't expect you to remember everything that happened in every conversation that you had with people. And this is just to help you have your thoughts written down so that you don't have to reflect back and say, what did she say again? And possibly mix her up with someone else. Okay. So in outcome, that's what you want to put right there. Whatever the outcome of the conversation was. They didn't answer the phone. They hung up in my face. They said, screw paparazzi, whatever. That's what you want to put under outcome. Next, follow-up date. If that's necessary, you want to put the date that they told you is a good date to follow up with them. Maybe that wasn't a good time that you called them. So what you would need to say is, when will be a good time for me to call you back? Let them tell you. Give them an actual date. Give them 2 choices of a date. Don't just say, well, when would be a good time for you to call me? Oh, I don't know right now. If they say that, is it okay if I call you back in a week? Yeah, sure. Is 6 o'clock okay? Don't if they're unsure, then that's when you start throwing out what's available for you. You understand what I'm saying? Now, if they tell you, call me back in 2 weeks, then you still need to know a time, and you have them verify that. I hope that's clear. I'm going to swipe the comments over for questions as soon as I'm finished. I'm almost done. The last thing you want to do is set a reminder in your phone. I have to set reminders in my phone for an hour before at least an hour, sometimes 2 hours before something is supposed to happen. If I'm supposed to follow up with somebody, I set up a reminder for 2 hours before, 1 hour before, and 30 minutes before. 3 reminders for one person, because I know me. 2 hours before, I'll be like, oh yeah, I got to talk to her. Okay. An hour before, I'll be into something else. 30 minutes before, oh yeah, I'm about to talk to her. So I need to sit down. I need time to sit down, look at my notes, review some things, maybe possibly look at their Facebook page and see what's going on with them. To be able to tell them how paparazzi is an advantage for them. Okay, the number 2 I have on here, it starts basically all over again. The date that I called, Because say for some crazy reason I didn't call them back on the follow-up date, or if I did call them back on the follow-up date, I need that date right here. Okay, and the outcome and so forth and so forth. Okay, if they join, you just write joined up here in the corner, and then you can fold down this page right here. I recommend keeping this whole page for the person. I recommend having this side for the recruit and then the other side of their paper for your initial conversation for their checklist, so that when you ask them, hey, what's your why? You can write that down and you have kind of like a file on them. You have everything right there together. That way, when they tell you that they're just in this for a hobby, and then a month later, you're trying to get them to make premier director in 30 days, you can look back and say, oh yeah, this is just a hobby for her. She already told me she don't want to build a team. Oops. Before you even talk to her and make her mad. Because nothing makes me more mad when I say, this is the direction I'm going, and people try to keep pushing me in a direction that they want me to go for their benefit. Okay, you don't want to come across in that way. Last thing with the recruit notebook, couple key things I want you to remember. Okay, number one, make sure that you actually follow up with the person. If you tell somebody a date and time that you're going to follow up with them, you need to follow up with them at that date and time. They need to know that they can trust you, that they can rely on you, that this is serious to you. Put yourself in their shoes. Think about when you were about to join paparazzi and how you felt. What were you uneasy about? What were you sure about? What things kind of gave you pause? Like, I don't know if I want to do this. Think about all of those things. Tap back into that time and address all of those things with the person. Give them the reassurance, by telling your story and how the things that paparazzi has done for you and how it has changed your life when you talk to them, to get them to calm down. Never be ashamed of your story. So many times we see other people's stories on Facebook and we get intimidated about our own story. But what I encourage you to keep in mind is that person's audience, even though you're able to see it, your friends and family and possibles are not within their followers, right? They're following you. They're not following these supernatural consultants, because there are some out there. It's just like, you did what and how much? Golly, everybody's not like that. Some people are the exception to the rule. And it's okay that if you're not. But don't let that make you ashamed of you and your story, because it's you and it's your story and the connection that you have with that person that's going to bring them in, not hearing somebody else's story. Okay? Your story is awesome because it's yours. Never, ever doubt that. It's important to build relationships with people. I am more likely to partner with somebody and stay for life with somebody that I feel good about. My nail tech has been gone for 6 weeks. She will be back in 2 days. Thank God. And I was just like, golly, you're going to be gone for 6 weeks. What am I going to do? Because she and I have a good rapport. I've been going to her for 2 years. And I was like, listen, this is my agreement. I'm only going to cheat on you once while you're gone, but I need to know as soon as you're back. She gave me her phone number. So I only went one time, but this happened yesterday. So I'm like, whew, Jesus, I got to hide these nails for 2 more days. She built a relationship with me. She didn't just sit there and she's rough. Let me just tell you that. She is twist my hand in all different directions, but she's a sweetheart. So I keep going back like a dummy, even though she hurts me every time. But I like her as a person. She took that time to ask me questions about me and my life and talk to me while she's abusing me, but making me beautiful. That makes me keep coming back for the abuse. She don't really abuse me, but she does kind of turn my hands kind of rough. I just cut her a look like, yank me kind of hard. But do you understand what I'm saying? Make sure that you're building relationships with people, not just join my team, because that's really selfish. Yes, it is. Not everyone is looking to make large sums of money from this. And sometimes that keeps us from telling our story, right? Because again, we see all these other people with their stories and their screenshots of making $89,000 in a week selling their paparazzi to consultants, and we're like, oh, only sold 4 pieces in my lot. That's $20. That's a tank of gas. That's lunch with change. Not everybody is looking for. Not everyone is looking to leave their job. I remember Tyronica talking about how when she first joined, and how sometimes she would get to work and need gas money to get home, bust out her bling bag, and make enough money for gas and dinner. Some people need that. I think sometimes we get in this business and we forget what it was like to not always have that option to instantly make cash on demand just from busting out of bed, smiling and saying $5. And everybody and joining in. So don't automatically assume that just because you may or may not have that story where you've sold what's impressive to you, right? Because you've allowed yourself to become a paparazzi fangirl. So now your own story is like, you feel like your own story is lame. And I'm speaking from personal experience. I've done this. I have to remind myself all the time. Good for her. That's great for her. But my followers see my story. They're not seeing her story. I'm privileged to see her story. And I pray that one day the Lord allows that to also be my story. But right here, right now, my story is good enough. I need you to tell yourself that your story is good enough. And last thing I wrote on here is tell about your accomplishments. Any accomplishments that you have, even if you just joined paparazzi, I'm sure you have a story about your launch party, or that necklace that you wore to work and people just couldn't believe it was $5, or there's something. Really, Tanisha? There is something that has happened to you since you've been with the business that you can tell others about and still, she threw me all the way off, and still make it relatable to them, to make them comfortable enough to feel like joining you. I hope that made sense. Y'all can thank Tanisha for completely throwing off my train of thought. I'm going to swipe over the comments now. All right, so I'm going to skip over the part where I was asking about questions to the last part, and then I'll take any questions that you guys may have. You can go ahead and start typing those questions in the comments there. Here we go. You guys, this is a huge month to be building your team and bringing people in. Recruiting is something that you should really never take a break from. You should always share the opportunity with others. You should always take advantage of time to tell people how this business has affected you positively and how it has changed your life. There are people out there who need this business and they just don't know that they need it. But if you never open your mouth, then somebody else is going to tell them eventually. And then you're going to be like, oh man, I'll give you a prime example. One of my mom's people that she just recently signed is somebody that I went to high school with, that I was actually thinking of talking to about the business myself. But I was just like, came up with all these excuses where I was like, man, I haven't spoken to her since we were in high school 19 years ago. I'm not even sure that she would answer a message from me. Oh my gosh, she's doing so much other stuff. She'd never be interested in paparazzi. And I wake up one Sunday morning and my mom signed her. And I'm like, Mom, how do you know her? She's like, oh, I met her at the BX. And I'm like, right? Because I didn't open my mouth and my mom did. So kudos to my mom, first of all, shout out, for opening her mouth and sharing the opportunity. She had no idea who she was. And this person didn't put it together until later that was my mom, but had actually saw me sharing paparazzi, and she told my mom, "Yeah, somebody I went to high school with is selling this. I'm interested in joining and then join my mom's team." Which, I mean, ultimately, when you look at it, it benefits myself and my mother, right? But what if she joined somebody else's team because I was too afraid to open my mouth and gave a no for her? I mean, no's don't hurt you. They don't hurt. They hurt our feelings, right? They hurt our ego. We don't want people to tell us no. We want people to tell us yes every time and not challenge us. But I mean, these are the things that are going to make you stronger as a consultant. Sounds crazy, but it's the truth. And the more no's you get, you're that much closer to your yes. My brother always tells me that I should get practice no's, like ask people that I don't even for real want to join my team, but use them as practice for the people that I do really, really want, right? Just to get used to number one, hearing no, number two, seeing how I pitch, number three, practice not coming across salesy, but relational. And so that's a good idea that I would recommend to you. Write down like 10 people that you could care less whether they join or not. If they do, awesome. But if they don't, you are that much more prepared and geeked up and braver towards asking those ones that you really, really want to join your team. Because we all have those, right? That we really, really want them to join our team. We know this business is perfect for them, but we just don't quite know how to ask them and get the response that we want. Don't let that deter you, because you'll look up and so much time will have passed you by when you could have been business partners and climbing the ladder together. Okay, that's pretty much all I have for you tonight. All right, so questions. What questions do you have? I hope that explanation made sense to you. I hope that you will take what you saw in this video and put it into practice. If you've done this before, do it again. It's time for us to build. It's time for us to have more rank advancements on our team. We need to get back to just the basics of, and this is me too. Not I'm not coming down on the team. We need to get back to making director monthly, being signing 3 people a month. And now it should be, right? Should be easier than ever because of the price and quality of our kits. So it doesn't look like anybody has any questions. Um Hopefully next week will be a better week and I'll be able to show my face, but I appreciate you all's time and attention. I will see you next week, and as always, continue to hustle hard.